The Iranian army says it will confront, quote, the enemies responsible for the growing unrest across the country.
The military's hardline stance comes as Iran's president says authorities will open an investigation into the death of the young woman, Mahsa Amini. The 22-year-old died after she was taken into custody by the country's so-called morality police just last week. She was arrested for allegedly breaking the country's strictly enforced dress code.
Her death triggered nationwide protests, predominantly led by women. It has also reignited anger over women's rights, restrictions on personal freedoms, and the government's rule. At least 24 people have been killed since the protests began. Joining us now for more on this is Eric Loeb. He is an associate professor of politics and international relations at Florida International University with a focus on Iran. Welcome. Thanks very much for being with us. So as we watch these protests unfold, we see a younger generation of Iranians that is pushing back against this government in real time. Will these protests, do you think, have any impact at all on policy moving forward?
Yeah, so as you mentioned, the most we can see, I believe, based on how this government or state has operated in the past, is really cosmetic moves or measures, investigations, statements of sympathy from officials, but not the type of deep-seated political and socioeconomic reform that activists are looking for. And I think what we're going to see in the short term, and what's already been announced by the military, is there's going to be a hard crackdown, as we saw in 2019 when there were nationwide protests at that time. So we can expect to see higher levels of repression and violence, little to no serious or substantive policy change, and then continued possibilities of protests and violence moving forward.
This reminds me of 2009. Iran had massive sweeping protests around the elections at that time. Social media was newer. People were using their phones to mobilize each other. There was another young woman who died, Neda Aga Sultan. That was kind of like the rallying cry around Neda. And then if you look at the years that followed, nothing substantially changed in the country. Mahmoud Ahmadinejad was the president and did as he wished. You know, some look at this and say, oh boy, is this going to be a domino effect? Will other Middle Eastern nations somehow find women uprising now for their rights? It's not like they haven't been doing it for a long time. So what's your expectation as far as what this may lead to?
Yeah, I mean, some scholars and analysts are drawing parallels to 2009. And I was actually in Iran at that time to see with my own eyes. The situation now is different. In 2009, and of course there was the female symbol that we had in Aga Sultan. But now we're seeing, and starting even in 2019, whereas 2009 was more of a middle-class, urban-based uprising, we're now seeing these uprisings cutting across locales, not just cities, but also provincial capitals, villages, and elsewhere, and across classes, not just the middle class, but even lower socioeconomic classes. And Iran finds itself in an increasingly difficult situation politically, socially, economically than it did back in 2009, facing more pressures and responding more violently as the protesters respond more violently, at least some of them. And so, you know, that's the situation in Iran. Regionally, if we look at what happened in 2010, 2011 with the Arab Spring, protests in one country can inspire protests in another. We call that the demonstration effect. So activists being inspired, women and youth and others in one location, and then taking up protests and other forms of resistance against their states in other locations. And we could perhaps expect to see that in the region, although we'll see if it's contained to just Iran.
Well, the Biden administration levied sanctions on both the so-called morality police and several of Iran's top security officials. Is this escalating situation expected to have an impact on those ongoing nuclear deal negotiations?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I understand the intentions of the Biden administration. On the flip side, and the Iranian authorities are already doing this, they do this time and again when there are protests to try to delegitimize them. They say that this is the work of foreign agents, right? So when the U.S. government steps in and takes these kinds of moves, it could unintentionally play into the narrative of Iranian authorities and weaken the claim of and legitimacy of protesters. In terms of how it would impact the nuclear negotiations, it would certainly put the Biden administration and reduce its political capital in terms of moving forward and carrying out these negotiations, in terms of pressure from human rights groups. But on the flip side, when we look at the allies and partners that we already have in the Middle East region, human rights doesn't necessarily factor in the long run in the equation when it comes to reaching deals or agreements. So it really may not inhibit the signing of a new nuclear deal if that could ever happen in the end.
So interesting to talk about this with you, Dr. Eric Loeb, and to see those kind of similarities and differences from when we've seen this before in Iran. We'll certainly pay close attention to what happens next. Thank you very much for your time today.
Thank you for having me.